So, first thing, low ready. You're going to shoot 5 and 5 rounds only on the buzzer. Shooter ready?
Ready.
Good job.
Thank you.
On the next course of fire, we're going to shoot from high ready. You're going to shoot 4 rounds in 6 seconds. Shooter ready.
Ready.
Good job. And now for the fun one. This course of fire is going to consist of shooting 1 round, speed reload, and do 2 rounds. So 1 round, speed reload, 2 rounds.
Okay.
Shooter ready.
Ready.
Nice. That was very clean.
Thank you.
And the last one.
1-1. Yep. Okay, I think I'm ready for the next one.
Okay. This one is going to be shoot 1 round. You should have an empty magazine in the gun, so you go to an emergency reload, and shoot 1 round.
Okay.
So total of 2 shots, 1 reload, 1. Shooter ready.
I'm ready.
Beautiful.
Woo!
Cleared it.
I did it! I did it, Mom! Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Your Favorite Libertarian. I'm your favorite libertarian, and this is the SilencerCo Sparrow. This SilencerCo Sparrow is part of a full series on my channel, so if you want to click up here or up here, you'll see the playlist on this exact suppressor, silencer, can, etc. But for right now, what we're going to be doing is seeing how dirty it got after about 500 rounds of various .22. In this video, I'm going to be taking this apart. No, I am not manufacturing a silencer, YouTube. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. But we're going to see just how dirty it got, how easy it is to take apart after shooting that super dirty round that is the .22 long rifle through it. And I think we'll all learn a little bit more than we knew before. Before we get started, a couple of housekeeping things. One is that I am a YouTuber and I have videos on stuff like this. So YouTube isn't really helping me out at all. So if you guys could help me out, I'd really appreciate it. The best thing that you can do algorithm-wise is hitting the like button. That lets YouTube know that you like this kind of Second Amendment content. And if you want to, for me, I just enjoy reading the comments. So if you want to leave a comment in the comment section, prayer requests, I take those. You can leave those in the comment section. If you don't want to leave those on the comment section of YouTube and you want to just DM me in private, you can go to my Instagram, same handle, @YourFavoriteLibertarian on Instagram, and you can DM me there. Or if you have questions, just gun related or otherwise, that you just don't want to ask in a more public forum, you can ask it on Instagram as well. And you can check out posts that I put on Instagram if you want to look at pictures instead of watch videos, I guess. Another way that you can help support the channel if you want to go like to the next tier or the next level of support would be to click on the links in the description or in the pinned comment below. Those are affiliate links. The way affiliate links work is that if you go to a website that you were already going to go to after wanting to buy something that you saw me talk about on my channel, just by clicking on my link to get there and shopping and doing the shopping you were already going to do, you don't have to pay any more money. I get a small kickback from that. It helps me to continue to make this content for you. It's a win for me. It's a win for you. You get to still use all the great discounts and deals that the websites that I personally shop on have, which are the only ones that I have affiliates for, or the ones that I trust and that I use. and you support the channel at the same time, and you also become mega based, which I think is what people are saying now that are much younger than me. So it's probably a cool thing to say. If you could do that, that's awesome. And you're awesome. Now, with no further ado, let's get on to the actual video. All right, we're on the floor. Movie magic. What I'm first going to do is I'm just going to attempt, just with my bare hands, to remove this suppressor from the just threading of the end of the muzzle here. And we're going to see how it goes. I have not removed this since I originally put it on and then put it on different platforms. So you'll see in some B-roll footage that I have this on my M&P 1522. I had it on a M&P 22 compact, and I also had it on a SIG 322. So it moved back and forth between a couple platforms, shot various rounds of 22 long rifles, subs, and supers, and now we're going to try to take it off. So here we go. Yeah, that's pretty easy. No problems there. So that's a good sign. Looks like the threads stayed pretty clean, which is good. Now we're going to try to unscrew, I don't even want to call it the end cap. I'll just, it's just is what is keeping this sleeve up against the end of the monocore. So we're going to unscrew that. Ooh, I don't know if you can hear this. It's very gritty. All right, so you can probably see that there is a little bit of buildup there, but this, it seems like this area is what is keeping the threads on the inside of this clean. Threads are super clean, but this is pretty dirty. Now, if you look at this, you can see I'm sprinkling out some lead. This is fun, it's like a pepper shaker. All right, so now I'm gonna push this down, and we're gonna try to slide this off. Okay, that was pretty easy. Ooh, that's gritty. All right, so try to give you a look-see in here. You can see what it looks like. There's a little bit of lead buildup in there too. You can see the seam right here where those two halves, or half pipes if you will, meet. So yeah, that'll need to be cleaned out a little bit too. Just with a brush, that's pretty easy. I'm gonna start putting on gloves for the rest of this because I don't want to get super leady. Ha ha. All right, so we're gonna take off our two halves. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is definitely dirty. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, oh yeah, you can feel like, I don't want to say indentation. No, it's not indentations. Okay, I was getting a little worried there. Yeah, just buildup of lead. Oh baby, that is dirty. Another test I want to do is to see how easy it is to clean this, because one of the reasons I got this is because it's easy to take apart, easy to clean. So far, pretty easy to take apart. Now we're going to see how easy it is to clean. So I've got some M Pro 7, which is just some gun cleaner here. I'm going to spray everything down and scrub with a nylon brush to see if I can get everything off. One of the things I really liked about this design is I didn't need to like dunk it into a ultrasonic cleaner. And I don't think they actually recommend you do that either. So I'm just spraying all this down. Spraying here. Okay. Now we'll let that sit for a little bit, and then I will start scrubbing. Glad I'm wearing gloves for this. 22 is dirty. Yeah, that's pretty gross. All right, let's see. Now this being a different material, I'm wondering if this is gonna scrub off easier. It's the inside that I worry about. Yep, it's pretty dirty. Should probably speed this up so you don't have to watch this for an hour. I'll look at the footage to see how long it takes me to do this before I edit this, so that way you can have an idea of how long it'll take you to clean this suppressor if you do happen to buy this one. Full disclosure, I have not received anything from SilencerCo, so, you know, non-biased. I bought this with my own money. The only bias I guess you could say is that I bought this with my own money, so I want it to be really good, but other than that, I don't have any biases. Biases, biases, you decide. I'm going to use some of this t-shirt now. Try to wipe some stuff off. Ooh, another thing I noticed is right here. There's some gunk there, so I'm going to see if I can get that out. Q-tips, a staple in any gun cleaning kit. Ooh. Q-tips are great for getting into those small spaces and seeing how much carbon you still have left to clean up. That is dirty. I don't think I'm gonna get this like super clean. I just want to remove all the excess chunks of things because that's what's gonna get in the way and could potentially cause baffle strikes. So just want to get that all cleaned up. Comments below, let me know how often you clean your 22 can or if you have ever cleaned your 22 can. I'd be interested to find out how frequently you guys are doing maintenance on your cans, if any. 22 is fun to shoot, but to clean, it's not so cute. Just made that up. This is what's keeping the threading intact and not getting the threading caked in carbon. So I appreciate this little ring a lot. If you remember in the last video on the suppressor, where we took it to the range and had some fun, this moved around between a lot of different guns, and I never really had a problem taking it off of one and putting it on another. Probably and mostly in part due to this piece right here. So thanks, this piece. Whew! That took forever. And I'd have to say, for me, it took longer because I was stubborn and I wanted to use other tools to get all the caked on lead off, whereas you would probably skip to using some type of scraping tool. I wanted to have the nylon brush work for those half pipes, and then that didn't work, so I was like, oh, maybe the brass one will work. That didn't really work so well. Oh, maybe the metal one will work. Nah, not really. And I eventually ended up taking a little Allen key and scraping off the excess. After I did that, it went pretty quick. You're going to want to spray down everything, and then the stuff that's caked on where it's actually raised up from the surface level, you'll want to get some type of scraping tool to get off. Try to make sure it's not harder than the metal that you're scraping the stuff off of, because then you'll scratch it. As far as putting everything back together goes, that went pretty smoothly. Everything went back together the way that it came off, so that's good. I also cleaned the threads anywhere there were threads, so I took this piece off, cleaned inside those threads. I took this little spacer off, cleaned the inside of that, and cleaned the threads for the actual barrel extension. That's all nice and clean now, so that went on smoothly. I didn't hear any grit as I was twisting it on. For the upper receiver was relatively clean. The bolt carrier group wasn't too bad. The chamber was pretty dirty, but nylon brush took care of that pretty quickly. Most of all the crud and disgusting stuff was coming out and going down into the lower receiver, so we'll get into that a little bit right now. The magazine well, along with the chamber, was where it was pretty dirty. You can see here I haven't cleaned this mag yet. There's a bunch of carbon and lead fouling all over the top of that. You can see how it's black for most of it, but then at the top it's not black. That's lead and other stuff. So the magazine well was pretty dirty. Also, the area right here where you have your fire control group, that was not only really disgusting, full of lead and carbon, but it also had a bunch of little granules? We'll say granules of stuff. That could be a combination of all the fouling, besides what was in the can, going into this area, but also another thing that, and I don't understand why Smith & Wesson does this and other companies that make 22 springs do this, but it's painted blue. Maybe that's to signify how strong the spring is so they don't accidentally put it in something else that's not a 22. Maybe it's to just signify in some way color-coded something that they need to know when they're installing it, but the paint flakes off of the springs because the springs are made to flex and move, and the paint is more rigid than the springs. It's not like a spring paint or anything, or it's not like they anodize the springs that color. It's just paint that's caked onto the springs. So all of that starts flaking off. It starts gumming up the works, and that's why the trigger is a little gritty when you are initially shooting it, and then even after you clean it, it's still a little gritty because until all that stuff flakes off, you're gonna feel that until you clean it all out. And I can only do so much with my Q-tips and my other tools to get all that stuff out. The only way I could really clean it all out is if I took the firing control group completely out, cleaned all in there, and then reinstalled the trigger. And I don't really want to do that because I'd rather be shooting than cleaning all the time. This is much smoother than it was before, so that's good, but the trigger is still a little gritty. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so we're unloaded. Don't worry, it's okay. See if you can hear the trigger. Yeah, it's pretty gritty. Hear that reset? Hear that? You can hear a faint grit, and that is something that I can feel as well. It's not super bad though. It doesn't really bother me, but it just is something that, because of all the stuff that's flaking off in there, you're gonna feel until all of it's completely broken off of the spring. Well, that's what everything looks like after 500-ish rounds. More on the gun than on the suppressor. The suppressor at least 500. This gun I haven't cleaned since I bought it, and it's been a long time since I bought it, so probably close to 1,000 on the gun. I'm pretty impressed with how gross it got. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section below, along with any prayer requests. If you'd like to help support the channel, clicking on my links really helps. If you're gonna buy something that you saw in one of my videos that you thought was cool that you wanted to pick up, that's great. Thanks in advance for doing that. And as always, thanks for watching. Stay free, and God bless.
Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.